Hey everyone and welcome to the channel. I really love putting a new spin on an old classic, and what's been more popular over the past few years than the humble poke bowl. But for our little twist, we're going to be making this one with duck breast glazed in all those delicious Asian dressings. If that sounds like something you're into, please hang around to see how we made this one. The key to this one lies in getting your hands on the freshest ingredients possible. It's going to make all the difference when it comes to that fresh crunch. As always, hang around to the end of the video for a full ingredients list. They'll also be listed in the description below. Let's get to work on this duck. I'll start off by making my marinade that will become that rich sticky glaze. I'll add in my light soy sauce, followed by the hoisin, and then the honey. Then I'll quickly chop my garlic. Now in most recipes you can sub fresh garlic for minced jar stuff if you feel like it, but in this one, fresh garlic is important. I don't want this one chopped too fine as it's going to add a little bitey texture to the poke bowl, and poke bowls are all about texture. But with that chopped, it can go into the bowl with the other marinade ingredients and we can give it a mix. And now for the duck. This one's been in my freezer for a while, but it still looks like it'll work, I hope. I'll start by trimming off any excess sinew or silver skin, and then get the skin squared up to the flesh. The skin will pull back a little as it cooks, so you don't need to be too aggressive about removing too much. We want as much of that crispy duck skin as we can get. And that's looking about right, so I'll give the skin a quick score. This is going to help all that fat and moisture come out of the skin as it cooks, and encourage everything to be as crispy as possible. But we don't want to cut this all the way through, just some shallow lines in the skin will be all we need to make this work. And now that the duck is all prepped, into the marinade it goes. I'll pop this one into the fridge for about half an hour to let the flavours come together. But while that's hanging out and doing its thing, I'll pop on some long grain rice to cook and start making our toppings. I'm going to be making a bit of a warm salad thing here to go over the top of our rice along with the cool crunchy raw vegetables. For the warm salad part, we'll thinly shave some cabbage. This one doesn't need to be super thin, as we're going to pour some hot marinade over it so it'll soften slightly, but we don't want it to be super chunky, just that Goldilocks kind of shaved in the middle. Next in goes our spinach leaves. We'll give these ones a quick chop as well, and pop them into the cabbage and set it aside. And for the raw toppings, we'll slice some spring onions on the diagonal. Followed by some cucumber. We'll cut these ones into little battens as a little stick of fresh crunch. And then onto some carrot. Just a really rough julienne should give us a good balance of texture between the different vegetables. That's all our prep done, now we can get on to cooking this duck. We'll start off pretty cold for this one to help encourage some of the excess water and fat out of the skin. Place the duck breast skin side down and gently sear for about 5 minutes or until the skin is crispy and golden brown. Flip the duck breast and continue cooking until your duck probes from medium rare to medium and is looking nice and crisp and caramelised. Now I know this one looks quite dark, but it's all those sugars in the hoisin and honey caramelising. Use your nose when cooking something like this. It will look dark, but if you can't smell it burning, I'm sure it'll be okay. I'll transfer these to a plate to sit and rest while I make the warm salad component. I'll give the pan a quick wipe and then add in the marinade from our bowl and bring to a simmer. I want this one to thicken up a little and make sure we've cooked all the raw duck juices out of it. When it's thickened slightly, it can go into the bowl with our cabbage and spinach. Keep a little aside in the pan to drizzle over the poke bowl when we're finished. Adding this one in nice and hot will cook our vegetables slightly, and they'll soak up a lot of that flavour from the marinade. With them all combined, we can bring this thing home. Into the bowl goes a good spoonful of the cooked rice, followed by a hefty seasoning of furikake. This one would also be good with sushi vinegar if you prefer it to the dried furikake, or you could even do both. Then I'll spoon over a little of the reserved glaze. and assemble all of our raw vegetables over the top. Then a nice pile of the cabbage and spinach mixture, some lime wedges and coriander, and we can slice our duck. Nothing complicated here, just a few slices into nice mouthful sized pieces and lay them over the top. Drizzle over the last of the marinade, drop some chopped peanuts on top, and tuck in. This one is a winner. It's light and refreshing, yet rich and sumptuous. The rich duck, light vegetables, and that little umami kick from the furikake makes for a really balanced and delicious take on a poke bowl. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel. See you on the next one!